Just want you to know that I'm sorry. I don't have answers for you. You guys are gonna want so many things that I cannot give you, and by making this video, I'm going on a limb because I could lose my job, and I don't want to lose my job.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies,
I came across these stitches on my For You, and I thought to share where these pan-colored women are all having an emotional breakdown to the recent happenings concerning some group of black women that has been ignored, and concerning the medical rare and cysts that actually become the order of the day. Now please, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together because this has become a norm. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video as we hear from pan-colored women, especially the ones in this medical field. Leave your thought, and we are just gonna come back to talk about it. Alright, let's do it.
If you are someone who takes care of human beings in a healthcare environment, I need you to listen the hell up. I just watched another video of a black woman being dismissed in active labor and having a baby 8 minutes later. It is disgusting to watch, but finally people are paying attention. This is an article that was written 2.5 years ago. I talked about how if you are a nurse who says shit like, I'm colorblind, I don't see color, I treat all my patients equally, that you are part of the problem. You are actively contributing to harm because your passive silence is active violence. So you might not be the nurse that does the side eye to a laboring black woman, but you won't be the person to speak up when something is wrong. You'll be the nurse just following doctor's orders, just pushing the patient to the car. But if you are the kind of nurse who cannot recognize that a patient's skin color, one of the most obvious things about them, puts them at a 3 times greater risk of death, what are we doing? I'm going to explain to you why equality should never be a goal in healthcare. Our goal should be equity. I'm going to use a photo that's often used to explain this, but I'm going to explain why it doesn't work on our scenario and give you a better example. So this is what equity means, okay? We're not giving everyone the exact same thing because giving everyone the exact same thing will still end with people having bad outcomes. We have to recognize the specific needs of our patient and give them exactly what they need to be successful or to live or to not be traumatized when they come into a hospital. Here's why this doesn't work when we're talking about black women. This puts the problem or the onus within the body of that person. So I do presentations for nurses and talk about the importance of speaking up when it might feel scary to protect our patients from birth trauma, harm, or death. And in this presentation, I made this graphic, which shows 2 equally heighted women in 2 different environments in the same place. This woman's ancestors were enslaved women who were experimented on by a monster named James Marion Sims and called it gynecology, given procedures without anesthesia because they thought black women could not feel pain. Even in my nursing books, in the culture section, it talked about how black women have a higher pain tolerance. In order to improve outcomes for this patient, we have to either repair the ground underneath her or move her to a safer location. We have to change her environment. And when it comes to birth, there's a lot of well-meaning advocates who say, this is why you should have a home birth. No, that should never have to be the answer. We have to make birthing in a hospital while black safer. And it starts by treating your black patients differently. Stop being personally offended if they don't inherently trust you because you're wearing a badge and scrubs, because they've likely experienced mistreatment from someone who looks an awful lot like you. It's why my 9-year-old doesn't fuck with bees. He got stung by a bee, and even though there are going to be millions of bees who don't sting him, he will never trust a bee. And I don't blame him, because every bee has the opportunity to hurt him. We know that black women are less likely to be listened to, so knowing that, how would you approach a patient who you knew was at a higher risk of not being listened to? Would you pull up a stool and hang on every word she says? Would you make a promise to listen to her? Would you echo her wants and desires louder to the other people on the care team? Would you act immediately if she says something is wrong? Or would you brush it off and say you're fine? But most importantly, are you willing to speak up against your coworkers, against people you may consider to be your friends when something is not right? If even half of the healthcare workers in this country made a pact to never allow this type of behavior to exist in our orbit, we could make things better. But it counts on you holding up your end of the deal, to treat your Black patients differently, to never be silent in the face of injustice, and to always be on the lookout for ways that you can help your patients feel heard. If you are someone who takes care...
My name is Hannah, and I'm a Dallas Regional Medical Center ER nurse, and I'm frequently in triage, and I want to open my heart and be vulnerable with all of you, because I, along with you, came across the viral video, scrolling on TikTok on my day off, and was appalled. And usually I see these videos and I'm appalled, and it's across the country or, you know, somewhere else. But it was my ER, where I work. And our hospital's tiny. We're a community hospital. We serve the underprivileged, we serve the poor, we serve people without insurance, mostly on Medicaid, Medicare. And I just want you to know that I'm sorry. I don't have answers for you. You guys were gonna want so many things that I cannot give you, and by making this video, I'm going on a limb because I could lose my job, and I don't want to lose my job. But I want to share with you a few things, so please bear with me. Everything that you've heard is true. Black women, in particular, struggle in a way that no other people can in America, with systemic racism, biases, hatred, you name it. And I'm a white girl coming to you, and a lot of y'all are gonna say that I'm part of the problem, and I've read that. Why is no one speaking out? Why is no one sticking up? Why is no one saying this nurse should be fired? There's a lot of things that I want to say and I cannot. Please understand, I have a job. I am a single mom of 4 kids. I don't get help. I raise them on my own. I'm a mom that has been on SNAP most of my life. I've gotten Medicaid. I barely make enough money to pay my bills as a nurse. It's expensive out there. But you know what? None of my struggles, none of them compare to what a black woman has to go through in our country because of the color of her skin. Racism isn't just, oh, it's the color of your skin, it's everything. It's not just, oh, look at that person, like, oh, she's ghetto, she's black. It's not just that. Y'all struggle. You struggle in a way that I can't understand. And to watch that video in my own ER where we serve people that are there on their worst day, it's horrible. It's so hurtful because I love my patients, and there are so many of us nurses that are just in shock. We can't believe that this would happen. But at the same time, we're not surprised because there's issues. And I'm sure it's at every hospital. I've worked at many hospitals. I've been a nurse a long time. And I'm sorry, I have to be careful what I say. But I want you to know that there are so many good nurses out there. And we failed. That night shift on that day with that nurse failed. I'm a day shifter, but I also work triage. Primarily, half my shifts are in triage. And I'm going to just tell you very quickly. She should have never been rejected from the ambulance bay. We take people all the time through the ambulance bay, even though it's for ambulances, but it's an emergency room. But I don't even know who was charged. The charge could at least laid eyes on the car in front of and just, I don't know. And if she had determined, maybe in the charge nurse's world, again, I don't know who it was. I didn't hardly work this week. TNCC, Trauma Nurse Core Curriculum, across the room observation, should have been brought in. At the very least, if her training had failed and she said, oh no, she can go through the front. Hey, can we please get a wheelchair to the ambulance or the emergency room entrance? That woman's mother shouldn't have had to go searching for a freaking wheelchair. Security shouldn't have had to go out there. And as a triage nurse, I know that the second that she stepped into that ER, that noise was heard. I'm sorry, my kid just called me. I know that noise was heard. I know the laboring sounds, the screams, they were heard, and I know registration went until triage. We've got an issue out here. There's a laboring patient. She should have been brought back. She should have been immediately brought back, hooked up to vitals. Those questions should have been answered. What's your G's and P's? How many times have you been pregnant? Have you had any miscarriages? Have you had C-sections? What's going on? We don't get, just because she was, I heard she was supposed to be induced through the videos, that she had been turned. Just because we didn't have her registered and we didn't have an armband didn't mean that we couldn't get all that information and write it down on a pen and paper like old school days. We could have been on the phone with L&D. I've got this doctor's patient in. What's going on? Do we have a bed? So many missed opportunities. And there's no excuses for it. None. None. I'm trying to be very careful with what I say, and I hope that this comes across to you, y'all, because I love my job. I love what I do. I love who I take care of. I have dedicated my life to being a nurse. I work 12, 13-hour days. Some days I don't pee, some days I don't eat, because I'm taking care of others, and then I come home and I take care of 4 kids. I've been a single mom for 20 years. I've done it by myself. I know what it's like to swipe an EBT card and wonder if you're being judged because you've got that yellow Texas EBT card and someone's gonna see. Or what it's like to check in and wonder, am I gonna be judged because I've got Medicaid? Am I gonna get the care? I've delivered 4 children on Medicaid, thinking, oh my gosh, am I gonna get the same care? Because I know that I'm on Medicaid, and you feel like garbage. I know what that feels like. I've delivered at Parkland because that was the only place that I could deliver. I want you all to know that your rage is heard, your pain is felt. We are hurting with you. There are nurses that I work with, so many good nurses that have given their careers, they have studied, they have paid money to do what we do, that are hurting watching that this is happening in our hospital when we're already, like I said, just a tiny little sliver of a hospital, barely functioning, bare bones, doing the best that we can with a broken administration, of a wider issue of failing healthcare in our country, on top of systemic racism that prejudices against people that are minorities or need help, food stamps, Medicaid, and we feel you, we hear you. So please, if anything that you take away from this, we are not all that nurse. We are angry with you. And I'm sorry that this was so long, and I hope that y'all were able to get something out of this. I hope that we can heal from this. Is that fair to say? I've been sitting in my car for an hour trying to make this video, ignoring my children, because I have to stick up. I have to say something. I have 30 seconds left. I can't answer your questions. I don't know anything. All I can tell you is that your voices have been heard. Change is going to happen. I know it will. I don't know if it's happening yet, but it's gonna happen. And that we will continue. The good ones of us will continue to advocate. We will not stop caring. We will still hold your hand, and we will cry with you on your worst day. Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm a Dallas Regional.
Remember when I said racism in healthcare is real, and so many people commented on my post and said, oh, that's not true. You're exaggerating. You're lying. And now here we are. There's a video that has went viral of a young black mother who went into the ER in Dallas, Texas, screaming in pain in active labor. So much in active labor that her son was born 12 minutes later. The white nurse, if that's what you want to call her, was a complete asshole. Did not do her job. She did not try to comfort this young lady. She did not try to get her help and care immediately. None of that. No. She started asking frivolous questions. And before anybody comes at me and says, oh, but they have to ask you questions, the only question she should have asked her was her name and her doctor's name. And she should have got her immediately some help. And there was no need for her to continue questioning her about bullshit. How many pregnancies she's had? It didn't fucking matter. And I'm going to tell you how I know it didn't fucking matter. If someone is in cardiac arrest and they cannot respond to you, they're unresponsive, do you think nurses don't give them care? Absolutely the fuck not. They still care for them. They figure the shit out later. If someone comes in, they've been in a bad car accident and they're unresponsive, do you think doctors and nurses don't give them care because they're unconscious? No, the fuck they don't. They treat them and they figure out who the fuck they are later. They could have easily, that nurse could have gotten her immediately over to labor and delivery and got her some care, and registration could have figured out all that other shit later. Those questions made absolutely no fucking sense for the amount of pain she was in and the type of labor she was in. Meaning right there immediately about to give birth. And I don't give a damn what y'all tell me, because let's think about statistics while we're talking about this subject. Statistically, black women die 3 times more than white women in labor. Did you hear what I said? 3 times more. Not only that, black women are denied pain medicine far more than any other racial demographic. It's bullshit. And I'm telling you, the nurse that treated her like that, at the least, should lose her job. That is completely ethically and morally wrong. Now, do they have a lawsuit? I'm not a legal analyst. I can't tell you that, but I would definitely check into it. And for all those people who told me, oh, racism in healthcare doesn't exist. It does. It has, and it will, because of people like this. And one thing I've always said, I'm going to continue to tell you, advocate for your family members. Advocate for your family members. Because people like this nurse are all over healthcare, whether people like to admit it or not. That lady could have shown compassion. She could have had, just some care. From the way she treated her, she doesn't need to be in healthcare at all. But remember when I said it, I was exaggerating. I hope you take notice now. People have to do better. This is disgusting. It's sickening. It's disgraceful. I told you it exists. Good day.
Was charged. The charge could at least lay eyes on the car in front of and just, I don't know.
I'm not fucking buying it, because the outrage that y'all are expressing on TikTok, y'all are acting like this is something that y'all have never seen. Every last one of you have seen that and probably much worse happen in your own facility. She works at Dallas Regional. Now with all the attention, she just has to speak out. Her job is on the line too. Girl, please, bitch ho. Y'all have been complicit. Now videos are coming out and you want to save your ass. This is my job. This is my livelihood. Bitch, how many black mothers have you seen be mistreated, lose their baby, lose their life at your facility? And how many times did you report the colleagues that were mistreating them? How many times did you go to the higher ups and do something about it? Or is your fucking TikTok the first time you've raised your voice? I'm going to say this. I started this specific TikTok page after my professional doula page. I stepped away from my professional doula page after Adriana Smith had her body, her corpse used as a fucking incubator. I came over here and I said, you know what? I'm just going to yap. I'm just going to talk my shit. But then I see 2 black women whose lives were in danger, caught on camera. I'm telling you now, these facilities are going to fight tooth and nail against the fucking 4K footage to somehow make it these black women's fault. One blatantly ignored as she is sitting there in active labor. Do you know what the body is going through when you are 12 minutes away from delivering your baby and an evil bitch is not even looking you in your fucking face? Visibly in active labor, very close to delivering. It doesn't take diagnostic tests. You can tell by a mother's countenance. You can tell by her breath. You can tell by her ability to cope with the pain. Can she talk through this pain? It's very simple, but the issue is not one bad egg. The issue is not 2 bad eggs. The issue is the motherfucking system. And y'all are now crying because you know that motherfucking system that has upheld you and protected your bullshit and protected your funky ass, fraudulent ass, racist ass colleagues is now crumbling in front of you. You want to save your ass. Respectfully and disrespectfully, fuck y'all. Y'all watch this shit daily, but you come on here with your outrage as if it's the first time you've ever seen it. I've had providers do unlawful, crazy ass shit in front of nurses, in front of other staff, and I'm the only one trying to stick up for my client. Y'all love to pretend like doulas go into these hospital settings ready to start a fight, ready to just be angry and come in there and knock shit over. Absolutely not. We behave exactly as that mother did recording her daughter. She said out her own mouth, if she acted a fool, then it was going to kick her out. She'd have had a charge and ain't no telling what y'all would have did to her fucking daughter without her being there. What I want to remind y'all of is responding to a video, reacting, stitching and duetting a fucking video, just expressing your outrage is not enough. And I don't give a fuck what you feel like. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. And I hope you have a terrible time sleeping this evening. Every fake ass tear y'all have shed on this app pretending to advocate for black women probably barely scrape the surface of the number of black women you have watched suffer and said fucking nothing. Y'all can actually go to hell. You're being lynched? Have you lost your fucking mind? You have had to lost your fucking mind to leave some shit like this in my fucking comments. The only people that are being lynched are the black women who are becoming victims in your fucking hospital. And black doulas are tired of cleaning up the messes that raggedy ass white nurses like you leave behind. Because while you think you're somebody special or you're somebody different because maybe you're not blatantly racist, this comment tells me everything I need to fucking know. And you put on them fake tears and try to say, not all white nurses, but somehow always a white nurse. Don't leave not one more comment under my motherfucking post, or I'm gonna hurt your feelings and I'm gonna make you lose your job.
So lovelies, when I saw this particular stitch of a pan-colored woman who definitely, I think she's a nurse, right? Coming out to beg and plead and ask black people or to tell black women that they have heard. They have heard, and it's actually time for them to speak out. Although she goes as far as to explain why she cannot really speak out that much because she don't want to lose her job. That is to tell you that even though there are majority of, people who actually want to speak out with all of the things that is going on, some of them wouldn't want to. Some of them would choose to be quiet because, they want their job to be kept. They don't want to lose their job. It's not as if people do not know that what is going on is absolutely not acceptable. It's not as if people do not know there is actually a medical rate in cease. They know all the while. They know, but it's just that there is nothing they can do about it because the way at which the system has been built about it, or the way at which the system has been built because of it. And with that being said, the only thing that will happen is just to place these people on leave. Then after, when they see that people has forgotten about it, they will re-employ them. Like the other woman, like the red Karen woman, which I actually thought was fired from her job because of what she did. Then information reaching me was the fact that she was never fired. She was actually given a leave to go home and rest, a paid leave, lovelies, a paid one. That means these organizations are not even taking accountability. They're not even taking that into consideration when they want to do things like this. That is to show you the kind of society that we are in. That is to show you that your voice does not actually matter if you're a black person. No matter where you come from, so far you're a black person, your voice does not really matter. It actually takes some group of pan-colored women like this to constantly come out and air their own and try as much as they can to use their voice, because at the end of the day, I believe that they are the majority of people that might be heard. Most of these people might hear from them compared to that of black people or black women. Like, seriously, lovelies, the rate at which black women has been treated, especially in the medical field, I think this is another agenda that needs to be really dealt with because it has long overdue. So many black women are all losing their lives in the process of giving birth. Just like these two incidents that happened. The first one with her daughter or whatsoever she is, and she was there asking her if this is her first pregnancy or second pregnancy. Or am I even going to talk about the second stitch I put up that yesterday? This woman was on active labor and she was sent out. She ended up giving birth in her husband's truck. God. She ended up giving birth in her husband's truck. This is the person that found her way to the hospital. And this hospital actually claimed that, she's not dilating. But this woman already know her body. She know that this baby is coming out. She know, like, what is all this? She has to beg, plead for you guys to actually listen to her. But what did you guys do in return? You sent her out for her to go give birth. Funny enough, her husband does not, you know, does not even have any form of experience of giving birth to a child, but he has to do that to save his wife and his daughter. You know, like, this is just getting so rampant. The medical rate and cis is getting so rampant, and people really need to start calling it out, because I believe that when you call a particular something out, by its end of the day, it might generate any form of accountability. You know, I just hope that with all of the things going on, this thing will be looked into. This medical ray and cis is going to be something of the past, God's willingly, because it's getting out of hand. Anyway, lovelies, why don't you just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please don't forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're to do that, like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.
Share, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.